Welcome to the Week 6 Buy Low and Sell High report. I'm Jason Gilbo here at Fantasy Football Cafe. We'll record the season gone already and into Week 6 and make or break time. You could be in a situation where you're comfortably in ahead, looking for players to push for later in the season, playoffs, making those moves, or you're trying to shuffle up that lineup because you're desperate. But there's some nice buy low players to look for here, as well as guys to sell high on for the rest of the season. But Matt Ryan, I've seen him tossed out in 2 leagues of mine so far, and I'm kind of questioning why. 1,700 yards, 8 touchdowns, but he's been fairly consistent. As one of the best wide receivers in the game, Devonta Freeman as well is providing a great option on offense, making things a bit more balanced, as well as making Ryan a bit more efficient. And he is a pretty solid pass catcher out of the backfield. Also got to like Hankerson, who's put up a decent couple lines this season, but still they do lack a wide receiver too in Roddy White, who has gone missing, although he did find it at the end zone last night. So why is Matt Ryan trade bait? Well, because there's so many other QBs in the league that are producing right now on much higher levels, and they got him cheaper. Andy Dalton, probably undrafted or late. Jay Cutler producing, probably out, obviously wasn't drafted, but a late pickup. Blake Bortles, same thing. Tyrod Taylor. So they're throwing out Matt Ryan to see what they can get for him. You shouldn't be offering too much, but if you're in an iffy QB situation, you can probably get him for a fairly cheap price. Probably if you have excess of something anywhere that's going to help a skill position player for this team, you can probably lowball and get Matt Ryan for him. So I think that's a pretty decent idea if you're in a bad QB situation. So I'm definitely snatching up Ryan if that's the case. Another buy low candidate is Randall Cobb. Has put up 2 disappointing performances since that big Monday Night Football game against the Chiefs where he scored 3 touchdowns. There's also been reports which are true that his shoulder is probably going to be an issue for the rest of the season. So now's a great time to buy low on him, especially if you're in a keeper league and you can keep him for the next couple of years there. But still wide receiver 1 threat each week for me in a Packers offense with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, sure. I mean, the last 2 games have been kind of iffy on the offense anyway. He's been spreading the ball around. Ty Montgomery, freaking James Jones stealing every touchdown in the book there in Green Bay. But Cobb's time's going to come. He's going to put up points. He's still going to finish 1,000 yards and numerous touchdowns. So I definitely shoot out some offers, see what you can, possibly get Cobb for. Duke Johnson in a situation with Crowell there, but the Browns have figured out how to get him his touches that he needs, especially in the passing game, which is a nice boost there for him. Big-time playmaker. Going to have a tough week against the Denver Broncos this week, but hoping that creates the illusion that he's going to be inconsistent going forward. I think Josh McCown's been a great bonus for this offense, but definitely going to take a hit against the number 1 defense in the league this weekend. But looking at Duke Johnson, going to benefit from McCown there, and plenty of juicy matchups going forward. I think he's a great flex play, a great fill-in for Jamal Charles if you're looking for that route. Definitely a guy to look at. Lamar Miller, he's a guy you can probably get for absolutely nothing, but the Dolphins have been a mess. The coaching change happened finally. The coaching crew has just been moronic this season. The touches have not been there. It's been a dysfunctional group, but I think we're going to see a little bit more of Lamar Miller going forward, and I think that's going to do well because you know what? There isn't anyone that's sneaking in and trying to steal touches from him, not a committee guy. Miller should get his feed soon. So I definitely think he's worth a look here. Selling high, Eagles run game, because they're coming off a nice few performances. I think it's going to be an ugly situation the rest of the way. Very inconsistent. This is a passing team. It's just going to be, it's just not going to be reliable for both Matthews and Murray. They're not going to be running the ball, a great deal each game like they did the last week, where both of them have tremendous success. But because Chip Kelly and the Eagles have been throwing up 40 points in the last couple games here, turn things around, people have that idea that, it's an amazing fantasy situation. Anyone a part of it is going to be great, especially DeMarco Murray with his big name. So definitely see what you can throw him out there and get for him. I'm looking for a more consistent back. Alan Hearns has been very electric this season. Been a solid, consistent wide receiver 2 over the last few weeks, but the touchdown rate a little bit unsustainable for me. His value is sky high right now, so you can definitely get something for him. But Julius Thomas is going to come back, take a few targets away. I don't think the touchdowns are going to be there each week, making his lines a little bit more pedestrian. And that's something you want out of your wide receiver too. So I think he's going to be very touchdown dependent going forward. Definitely sell and get what you can for him. Antonio Gates, vintage Antonio Gates last week on Monday night. Big game, which he should have had because the Steelers' defense is absolutely horrendous against tight ends. They've made guys look just tremendous fantasy values, but I'm flipping Antonio Gates for starting running back or wide receiver if I can, because you know what? There's plenty of tight ends out there. I want to grab that, maybe sure don't have the ceilings, but are going to be, can chip in each week. Philip Rivers, as usual, second half regression will happen, and Gates is going to be a tad unreliable when that happens. So I just can't buy into Gates going the rest of the way. The guy's up there in age. That Chargers second half drop is going to come, and you'll be a bit disappointed, but they will if you can unload them there. Bam, Drew Brees, 300 yards in the last 3 games, 5 touchdowns in that span. Oh man, Drew Brees, 36 years old. Is he back? Is he not? Can he do it with the weapons he has? Well, possibly. Yeah, he could. I guess decent schedule here, but I mean, I'm trying to see what I can get for him here. Like I said, there's plenty of quarterbacks out there producing right now, and I want to see what I can get for him, see if he has any star power effect left where I can buy another key position player for him and just go with someone else. Because likely you had to pick up a quarterback when Brees was hurt. And chances are if you picked up anyone like Bortles or Dalton or Cutler, they're going to be throwing the ball well for the rest of the season. So you know what? See what you can get for Brees going forward, because he has looked pretty decent the last 3 weeks, and I want to see what I can get for him. So that's going to wrap it up here for week 6. As always, content going up at Fantasy Football Cafe every day of the week. Pods, articles, great stuff. Definitely check it out.